sacrifice by Wing Commander Sudarshan. A salute to valor, devotion, and dharma in action. Inviting Sudarshan ji onto the stage. We will have two launches, the English book and the Tamil version. First, we will start with the English. I invite and request Lieutenant General Kandale, Major General Bakshi, Jagannathan sir, for releasing Sudarshan ji's book.
Tamil also we can.
Saravanan sir, please.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
I think General Bakshi is not here.
Thank you. We now invite Dr. R. Uma Bharati, great-granddaughter of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiya, hailing from Chennai. Writer S.R. Sivakumar Bharti, great-grandson of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharatiya, and Dr. B.P. Rati, assistant English professor at Mandar Tirumale Nayakar College, Madurai. Inviting all of them for the Tamil book launch.
So you be here. Be here. Major sir, you can also accompany us. Please come. Sir, please come. Vanga.
Come, sir.
Vanga, sir. Jagannath ji, please. Vanga.
உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் கொடுத்தீங்களா? சுதர்சன் சார், உமா மேடம்.
Shubhma. Please come, ji. Pandit sir. Yeah, wo Pandit.
Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Sudarshan sir, we request you to share a few words about it.
Da, இது எடுத்துட்டு அங்க கொண்டு போய் அவளை கொடுத்துரு. நீங்க பாரு
Good
விழுந்துச்சு.
afternoon, everyone. Before lunch, I said we have 16 minutes. It's up to Jagannathan who will permit me to speak for 16 minutes. You know, in Bangalore, once in 2 years, we have an amazing air show called Aero India Show. While the steel birds dance in the sky, on the ground, in the pavilions, in the stalls, billions of dollars business takes place. Warplanes, missiles, radars, anything related to aviation. One such Aero India, very similar to Aero India show, was a show in Abu Dhabi few years back, and there was an Indian stall by the DRDO scientists that carried a scale model of BrahMos missile. BrahMos. BrahMos was not an established name those days. So the person who's hailed as the father of BrahMos, Dr. Shivatanu Pillai, he was also there in that stall. One egoistic Pakistani general came. He was floating around like a free electron. They have no money to buy any warplanes or anything. So he came. He saw all the technical details and he asked, Dr. Pillai, will you sell this BrahMos missile to Pakistan? Dr. Pillai very calmly said, for Pakistan it is a free delivery item. So this guy, General, built a hasty retreat. And the scientist promised, once the scientist promised, we in the armed forces have to fulfill that. So we delivered, notwithstanding each BrahMos cost 34 crores, we delivered it free. Not one, not two, 19 of them. And very fast. Very fast in the sense, 3 times the speed of sound. What is speed of sound? 1150 kilometers at the sea level. So into 3. We delivered that fast. And accurately. Address was given. This is the underground C4I, Command Control Information Center. And underground it is. So it has to go and enter through the entrance. And it has to, like in Noor Khan base, enter through the air conditioning duct. And it was delivered exactly. And there were 20 people, including some foreign nationals, working there. They were all cooked. So Operation Sindhoor became Operation Tandoor. So during Operation Sindhoor, the deception war was something new that was highlighted. In Bharatiya Itihasa, deception war is not a new thing. It was there in Ramayana. Ravana's son Indrajit adopted deceptive war. In Mahabharata, Bhima's son Ghatotkacha adopted deceptive war. Now, in Indian Air Force, it has become a deception, a force multiplier. What is deception? You want to make the enemy see what you want him to see. What we have to show him is that to fool him, to defy his original, whatever the target system we have to see. What is a force multiplier? Which is slightly a military terminology. I will explain with a situation. Let's say from Tanjore, 4 Sukhoi aircrafts take off, armed with BrahMos missile. Their target is Bholari airfield near Karachi. Now, BrahMos is a very heavy missile and they have to fly hugging close to the Arabian Sea. So somewhere they have to refuel. So then comes the aircraft, an air-to-air refueler. Next one. No, previous one. Yeah. So this aircraft refuels these 4 Sukhoi aircrafts somewhere in the middle of their flight plan. So this mid-air refueler is called force multiplier. It is not the 5th aircraft which is added to strike package. It increases the range of the strike. So that means it multiplies the operational capability. That's why it is called a force multiplier. Next. As they get close to the Pakistani airspace, now you see this aircraft with an idli on top. So this is an IL-78 aircraft, which is a flying radar station in the air. It is not just flown by pilots, it's flown by the scientists, it's flown by the war managers, it's flown by the electronic warfare managers. So this is also called a force multiplier. So it multiplies the effectiveness of the strike package. It is the one which directs where there are radar loopholes. They will have to go through that, and where there are the radar sites or surface to air SAM, what we call sites. So they have to jam those radioactive stations along their path before they deliver the BrahMos. Again, BrahMos will be delivered accurately. Once the BrahMos are delivered, the aircrafts become light and they fly to higher heights and return back. So this is what is called a force multiplier. In the deception war, there is another major activity that happened. Not all the activities happened along the border, it happened just 200 kilometers north of Bangalore, a place called ATR Chitradurga, Aeronautical Training Range. It's a proper airport, but it is only for the exclusive use of the DRDO scientists. What happened there is that red one. Yeah, this is also called AEW, Airborne Early Warning Radar. It also acts like a flying radar station. Eye in the sky. It's called Netra in our Indian Air Force. Next. See, this, does it look like a warplane? It doesn't. It's such a chota thing. Banshee Jet 80 Plus it is called. In Chitradurga, what they do, when it is used by us, is when we have to test a new missile, air-to-air missile or surface-to-air missile. It is tweaked in such a way that 100 meters from its takeoff, it is just pulled and released in the air, and it flies up to 30,000 feet with a speed of 700 to 750 kilometers per hour. So when the missile under test is supposed to hit this in the mid-air, and it is programmed in such a way that it climbs, it dives, it carries out hot turns, high G turns, what we call it, and evasive maneuver. So that missile under test has to chase this and hit it. And the role of this drone is over. In case if that missile doesn't hit, then the missile has to be again re-verify its performance. Between 22nd April and 5th midnight, what happened was this drone was transported to the 3 sectors along the border, 6 of them in one batch. So they were tweaked electronically in such a way they look like Rafale aircrafts, they look like Sukhoi aircrafts, they look like Tejas aircrafts. And another electronic device was fitted to that. It is called IFF, Identify Friend or Foe. So each Indian aircraft, every country has its own code. We are given 4-digit code, even in civil aviation, that we have to set it before our takeoff. So that identifies that it's an Indian aircraft and it is not a foe, not an enemy aircraft. And another tweak was done to this, random communication of the pilots. You know, when the pilots talk, Wilco, Roger, hot turn, bogey, 12 o'clock, all those things the military people understand. So, before the main attack, as you all remember, on 6th midnight, 3 minutes past 1 o'clock was the main attack, but these took off 2 hours before that from 3 different places. They entered the Pakistani airspace and they flew exactly like a strike package. They did all the turn, they delivered some dummy load, and they took the entire Pakistan by surprise. They were shocked. Oh, India has commenced their... Then the surface-to-air missile sites started radiating, started firing their missiles, started activating their tracking radars, started scrambling their fighter pilots. So the Mohiniyattam started in the sky. They took it all along Bahawalpur, south of Bahawalpur, and when they realized that we can't engage this, some of them were shot down, that their role is done. What had happened when this Mohiniyattam was going on? The satellite captured all the locations, all the frequencies of radar, all the frequencies of surface-to-air missile, all the location of the fighter planes. That is what we wanted. And then next what happened was something called SEAD operation, suppression of enemy air defense system. Then commenced DEAD, destruction of enemy air support by the Rudram anti-radiation missile. What happened next is all known to you, and then exactly 3 minutes past 1 o'clock, we entirely perished the 9 terror hideouts. Another very interesting thing, next. Rafale aircraft is almost invincible, it cannot be shot. I am telling you as a flyer myself. It has such a protective jammers and electronic equipment all around. There are jammers, there are signalers. The most important is in that square on top. Any time there is a missile hit towards Rafale, there is a next. There is a no before that. This one. There is a electronic equipment kit which comes out of the body of the Rafale, and what it does, it adopts a technique called DFR, or digital frequency memory. So what it does is it creates 6 Rafale's ghost images, which is more stronger than the actual Rafale aircraft. So when the Pakistanis claimed all the cricketers did this and all that, it was these ghost images that they struck. So that's why we have placed another, Indian Air Force has placed another 114 Rafale aircrafts which are going to be acquired by Indian Air Force. Are we done with that? There are 3 minutes. If there are questions, I can answer.
What are loitering munitions?
Sorry?
You said 6 would be sent out.
Sorry, ma'am, I can't.
You mentioned 6 would be sent out.
6 ghost images.
But this image shows only one and the others are not seen?
On the radar. See, I'll explain to you briefly what is a Doppler shift. When you're driving, there is an ambulance behind you, blaring, with siren. Now you have to give way. But the same ambulance, when it is in front of you, the blaring is not so strong. So that's why even if the actual aircraft is in front, the ghost images are giving a very strong echo. So that's how, even if the missile comes, it is deflected away from the main aircraft.
Loitering munitions, what is that?
Yeah, basically, see, this war also showcased the ability of drones. And the munitions, basically, the drones which carry ammunitions. And they also, what happened in the next day when we hit the 11 air bases was the system called TOT, time over the target. There were missiles fired from the surface, there were missiles fired from the aircraft, there were drone, like you said, munitions. Each speed is different, but they were coordinated in such a way, within 20 minutes, complete annihilation and destruction took place.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
I just want you to elaborate on the role of ISRO, sir, because what we hear is ISRO has contributed a great role in Operation Sindhoor. And one more thing is that this Operation Sindhoor was able to foresee or forecast or really highlight what was made in India and what was made in Turkey and made in China.
Yeah.
And number 3, sir, a very important topic. You are not even, you put so much of humor, wit and humor into this, but you have never laughed. Okay, so
I will put one more, and I will not laugh. See, all this Pakistan had was Chinese equipment. Chinese equipment, Chinese mall. चले तो चांद तक नहीं तो शाम तक. So it hardly took 2 hours for us to entire air defense of Pakistan to go numb, and they never took off. Another record was the last one, please. The Veer Chakra awardees. I'm only scared about Jagannathan. He will come with some danda or something. Can I continue? It's 1:30.
the role of ISRO.
ISRO, yeah, you're right. See, we have of all the satellites that ISRO establishes in the Earth's orbit or orbit, we have 15 of them dedicated only to the armed forces. And why the navigation of this next one, where the Prime Minister is missing is yeah. The center one, Group Captain Animesh Patni, who established a world record anywhere in the world by hitting a Pakistani aircraft which is flying, the flying radar, what you say, at a distance of 314 kilometers. Never happened anywhere in the world. Why? Because we never relied on GPS. GPS anytime can be spoofed. You know Americans, no? You can never trust them. So we have used our own NAVIC system, indigenous navigation system, which is spoof free and it cannot be, what is spoofing? When you book a Ola or a red cab, whatever, so it shows you the position, 2 kilometers away. But when the same cab is shown 250 kilometers away, that is what is called spoofing. That cannot be done in our indigenous NAVIC system. And somebody asked me about indigenous content. The indigenous content during Operation Sindhoor was something like 67%. Entire. The last one is this table that we not only hit one more. This one. We not only hit 9 terror hideouts, 11 air bases, we completely annihilated Pakistan by hitting 70 targets. The last column shows which are done by Air Force, which are done by Army, which are done by BSF, which are done by, like normally when the war is declared, BSF is slightly taken because they have things like camels, which can be, vulnerable. But this time, BSF did a fantastic job. All that yellow boxes you see is done by BSF. Okay, Jagannathan is still there, I am safe. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We are all surely inspired to pick up the book and read more and learn more about the Operation Sindhoor. I request Umashri ji to come on stage and do the felicitation of Sudarshan.